we were doing clinical work in a clinical setting, basically your hour after hour sessions, and then we would see our clients go home, and they would go back into the same environments they came from and not do very well. We were running from conference to conference, learning everything we could, every technique we could, and trying to apply everything, and it still wasn't really making that much of a difference. And it was because their environments weren't changing. And as you listen to the 5 to Thrive material, you'll begin to have a better understanding of why sometimes prayer ministry is just not enough. And so we began to realize this after 10 years of feeling like we were kind of spinning our wheels, and began to develop community. I've had clients in the past who will come in with a presenting problem, we'll work on it, and they'll get better, and those problems resolve, and then all of a sudden they have more problems. And they will say to me, can't we work on something else? Or begin to get a clue that they don't want to end the relationship. Is that wrong? I don't think so. So I think that what this challenges us to understand is that we need to begin to broaden our concept of what it means to heal and what does our brain need to heal, particularly if we've grown up in families that do not provide a good sense of belonging. So one of our jobs then is to teach our trauma survivors how to return to joy from each of these single emotions. And what we began to discover that was really causing a problem that I didn't really realize and sharpen my skills on until the Thrive material was presented to me, was that we were working on these trauma memories. And we were going deeper and deeper and deeper in these trauma memories, thinking, we'll get to that root lie and we'll find the answer. And not realizing we're bypassing all these emotions that they have no idea how to handle. And so what was happening was our clients were actually getting worse. They were getting into addictions more. They were dissociating more. They were doing self-harm kinds of behaviors more. All of those are signs that the brain is overwhelmed and you need to back off. You'll hear descriptions this week of times when we figured that out. Oop, we're going too fast, too far, too deep, and we've got to back off. And at times, I have prescribed community only, no therapy. We're done for a while. We're going to take a break and let you catch up with what you've got on the table right now. So that's a very important skill and intervention to learn. As we're growing in life, in a healthy environment, we have a sense of belonging, secure attachments, which opens us to receive and give in life, and then we return to joy from each of the 6 distressing emotions, and throughout those 18 years, we're going to have more and more opportunities as we have more complex situations to begin to return to joy from big things like humiliation and accusations and things like that that are really hard. What happens when you don't feel like you belong and attachments are insecure? You experience life as painful. It's described as an existence that's painful. Life and relationships are painful. I mentioned before, this is something that's going to affect every relationship until you heal it. If you have insecure attachments. Well, if you work with severely abused trauma survivors, chances are you're going to run into what is called dissociative identity disorder, or DID, DID. And what that means is, in order to manage all kinds of trauma that was prolonged and too intense, the identity split apart. And there were many identities formed to handle extreme situations. So that is the extreme example of the problem at this level, which is internal conflict. How do I resolve remaining who I think I am, but I gotta fix this mess?